Hey guys, Casey Ferris here. Thanks for checking out another video of mine here on YouTube. Today we are talking about shared nodes and how they can help you do color faster inside of DaVinci Resolve 15. This is a brand new feature. This hasn't ever happened before, but just because it hasn't happened before doesn't mean that it's impossible. I don't know what I'm saying. Here's how shared nodes work. Normally, you have a node and you do stuff in it. Oh, look at us. Such good color graders. Yeah. Nice. And all of your adjustments live inside of that node. Then if you want to copy this grade to other shots, you can select another shot and middle click, and that node will appear, and you can use that correction with your other shots. That's pretty fast already, but what if you decide, oh man, I actually wanted these shadows to be a little bit cooler? Then you'd have to go back and copy them again, or if you already had a bunch of grades happening in your shot, you'd have to go back to your original shot, select your first node, hit copy, go to your first node in your other shot and paste it to keep the rest of your nodes. You could also add this to a group. So I'll hit Control C on this node, reset my other shots here. Then I can group all of these and say add into new group. Then go up to my group post clip or group pre-clip and select my group node and hit Control V. And now I have one node that adjusts all of my clips all at once. And if I want to make an adjustment like, those shadows are too blue, maybe I want it a little bit brighter in the midtones, then you can adjust that and it ripples to everything else in the group. That's a pretty slick way to work. But with shared nodes, it's kind of like all of those things combined to just be a little bit easier. Here's how they work. I'm gonna remove this group. Let's say I have a shot that I really like. This is a nice grade, okay? I can select my node, right click and say save as shared node. And that's gonna do pretty much nothing except for add a little note here that says shared node 2. And it also locks this node so that I can't change anything. So now this is a shared node, which means if I copy this grade to another shot by selecting the shot and middle clicking on the mouse, it's gonna add that shared node to both of these shots. And now if I make an adjustment to one of these shots, it will ripple to the other shot. So I'm gonna right click and say uncheck lock node, and I'll boost this up a little bit, make it nice and warm so we see what's going on. I switch over to this shot and it's also warm. That's pretty awesome. I have a common correction that I can apply to both of these shots. But the thing that's really neat is that this just lives in my clip nodes. So I can get really detailed and maybe add an adjustment before this or after this, and everything is unique to this shot. It's just incorporating this shared node. And I can make specific adjustments for each shot with a different type of node tree. So this gives you a lot of opportunity to get really detailed with each shot, but still have the ability to adjust a group of shots all at once. Another cool thing is these shared nodes act like little presets that you can apply to whatever shot you have available. If I right click on this node and say add node, I can actually bring up my shared node right from this menu without having to copy it from another shot. So how does this work practically? Well, you can make shared nodes for all the different environments you have. So here's kind of a darker environment. We'll do a little grade to start out with. And I can save this as a shared node and label it as couch. And I can add my node to the other shots, or I can copy my grade. See, this one's a little bit brighter, so I can add a little node before this and leave my other shots untouched. Now maybe I'll make an adjustment for some outside shots, and I can save this as a shared node as well and just call it outside. Now here's a bunch of shots that are outside. I can control select all of these and then middle button mouse click for all of these, and it's applied a common look to everything. But I can still go in here and adjust each shot by itself if I need to. And at any time, if I want to adjust how all the outside shots look, I can just unlock my node. Maybe I'll warm it up a little bit, give it some more contrast, and that ripples to all of my outdoor shots. So that's a nice, convenient way to take control over a bunch of different shots all at once with a lot of flexibility. Now here's what's really cool. You can combine multiple shared nodes. And so let's say I have a basic correction here, and I'll save this as a shared node. I'll call this outside 2, and I can apply that to any of my outside shots to correct them, but I could also make another node that's like a stylistic look over things. So let's say I want low contrast, kind of warm look. I can create that look inside of a shared node, I'll call it style, and I can add that to any shot that I want. And I always have the flexibility to go back and change how that looks on a project-wide basis. And this is without grouping shots or doing anything. You can treat them all as individual shots without a lot of hassle. So I can add a correction and then add my style over it and have all kinds of control without having to go into my groups. Now, is this better or worse than using groups? It kind of depends on your workflow and what you like. I think I'm definitely going to be using shared nodes more and more in the future, just because of the flexibility of being able to move the nodes around in different order, turn them off and on, and you can quickly just enter the shot and adjust things on a shot-by-shot basis if you need to. I also want to mention really quick that this works great with LUTs as well. So I'll reset one of my shots, go up to my LUT browser, and here I can preview what a LUT looks like. Double click to add it to the node, and then I can right click and say save as shared node. And I'll call this correction LUT. I can even hit Control A and then middle click this shot to apply that LUT to my whole project at once. Then if I need to adjust something, I can just go to my shot and add a node before this and adjust it for the shot. And it keeps things a little bit easier to see rather than having to jump into the groups and manage all your groups together. You can just use those shared nodes. So there's a little bit about shared nodes. I hope this was helpful. If you have any questions or comments, leave them in the comments below. If you like this, hit like. And for more color grading tutorials on DaVinci Resolve, Fusion, all of that stuff, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below. Also, don't forget to hit that little notification bell right there so that you know the very minute I put out a new video. And believe me, you're going to want to know because we have some special time-sensitive type of offers coming out on YouTube very soon. So I think that's everything. My name again is Casey Ferris. I will catch you next time.